Was there a point where you ever had to separate them, like when you're feeding them?
Yeah.
Maybe like cats eating dog food or dog eating cat food?
You know what? The feeding here in this house is another story. Because it's 6 animals. And so there's a tray that gets put out with the cats that live downstairs. That's mainly downstairs. They eat downstairs. And there's 2 cats that eat upstairs. And then there's the 2 dogs. And Bella, I feed on that side of the house and Bugsy on that side of the house.
Yes.
Because Bella is a glutton. And she will just, if they were next to each other, she'll
eat
just
both.
push. Yeah. So they have to be separated.
She'll push. What are you trying to do?
Yeah. And then the cats all have their own places where they eat. But there's this is where the cats bully. Sometimes when I put down Bugsy's food, and then Bugs doesn't come out, then I know a cat has got him.
Oh.
So what happens is he might be downstairs running up the stairs.
Yes, with his short little legs.
And then Pawpaw would just sit at the top of the stairs. She just sits and he doesn't dare go past. Or just somewhere in a door frame, somewhere in a door. You go, and there's a cat sitting. And they make as if they don't know anything. And he doesn't go past them. He's too scared.
Passive intimidation. And so
I
you can pass if you want.
Yeah. Go and stand next to the cat and then they'll go.
So you need to be a bodyguard sometimes.
Yes. And the cats don't do anything to them.
Yes.
But
The way they look at him.
Yeah. It's
You
just
know.
so intimidating.
I think you guys need a movie in this household.
100%, like a reality show, Elize and her pets. That is kind of interesting. So Elize, would you say, out of all the animals that you've had, or because I know you feed wild animals as well, you just told us that story, would you say there's an animal that has changed your life in any way, like an experience with an animal that you just can never get out of your head?
Nothing really profound. I mean, except that the cats, they saw the first snake that I ever saw here. They saw the snake and they alerted me, but it wasn't a heavy situation.
Do you also believe that pets do communicate with us telepathically?
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. No, the thing is that they don't speak.
That's true.
They don't speak, and it's and sometimes you just know what to do. You know, all of a sudden there's something, they don't speak, and then you give them water.
Yeah, it's like
And
you
then
know
all
they
of a
need
sudden
water.
they all go and they drink water, and it's sort of, they don't have water.
Yes, I'm so thirsty.
So I think that they do communicate with us in some kind of a way, because they don't have, because we live together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also believe that.
I'm a skeptic.
She's a skeptic. I also believe that because I've also seen pets behave or maybe respond before you can even tell them what to do. If you want to tell the dog move from there, it moves before you even tell them to move.
Oh, totally. No, that kind of a thing. The whole time. I mean, just the way that you walk, they know you're going to go out to the car now and drive away or whatever. If I go out for the evening or I go away for the day where I lock up everything, you can they know immediately.
Yeah.
They all behave in a different way. And then also if there's sort of sadness in the house, you know,
That's true.
Then the animals become very quiet.
She's
and
a skeptic.
sympathetic.
No, for the emotional part, I believe that animals can actually sense like your emotional state at the time, and especially dogs, they know when you need them emotionally. It's just the communication telepathically that I'm skeptical about. It's like, he told
But if
you
they
that.
can sense your feelings,
Really?
they can really sense what you want to say to them.
Still to be conversed.
Yeah, I was telling you, I've never heard a voice in my mind where Pawpaw was talking to me or Tinker.
Yes, you know? But that's a little extreme for my...
No, that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be verbal. It's just the thoughts.
Yeah.
So would you ever go to a pet psychic? Like if there was somebody that truly could would tell you what Patsy was telling you, what Bella was telling you, for example, like Patsy wanted to communicate with you, would you engage in that sort of a thing?
I mean, it would be interesting, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't really have any specific desire.
Yeah.
I mean, I talk to them in anything.
They hear you anyway.
They hear me anyway.
They know exactly how you feel.
Yeah. And I think they, but animals are amazing in how different their personalities are. There's not one of the animals got the same personality. The cats, I mean, Popo's eldest daughter,
Yes.
her firstborn, Fendi, is a big cat. She's a big brindle, tortoiseshell cat.
Yes.
And she's very independent, and she's extremely bossy. She's an Amazon.
Okay.
I think if she was a human girl, she'd most probably be a really strong, very butch lesbian. She was.
Yeah.
She runs. She's that kind of girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all. But she's not the head of the house.
Yes.
But she's definitely sort of the one that whips them
into shape. Yeah. I mean, you're both a human and a pet mom. What would you say are the main differences between being a pet parent and a human parent? And what is your favorite thing about each of those?
I think conversations.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. I mean, I can cook with my son. We cook, we talk, and Bella's always in the kitchen standing with her tail and all of that. And I sometimes think if only she had little hands.
Yeah.
I'd be able to help
Yes.
Yeah. But I
Chop the onions.
chop the onions.
Wash the
Bella.
dishes.
Yes. Don't just be cute, be useful. Be cute and useful.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that in any case, I've got great respect for all sentient beings. Anything that's, I really believe that souls, So animals, humans, and we should have respect for them and for the life inside of them.
That's true.
Yeah.
And also, would let's just say there's no restrictions, and you wanted to add another animal into the family. What pets or what animal would you want to add?
I think another cat.
So you wouldn't branch out to the other different types of animals? No.
Like a lion.
Like if it was legal to keep a lion pet, you wouldn't.
With no restrictions,
No, I'm
Elize.
scared of lions. The elephant, my word, I'm so scared of them. No. And there's bush babies. There's bush babies here in the forest, and there's monkeys, and the monkeys are all over. I love them. And there's bush babies, and there's lots of insects, and there's lots of other animals, and there's lots of birds. I don't have a specific. I will never have a bird animal. I'll never have a bird in a cage or a fish.
Yes.
Anything that you have to restrict.
Oh,
their
yes,
movement,
yeah.
I'll never do that.
So you've never had an exotic pet like a bunny, a tortoise?
I had as a child. I had a mouse.
Oh,
Yeah, I had a few mice, and that cat that walked into the house,
Yes.
ate both.
Got rid of them.
Yeah.
Competition.
Yes,
Tom and Jerry.
yes.
And I know you said that you have now some empathy for snakes as well, but
Yeah.
you said that one of your cats was actually killed by a snake. So how do you reconcile because I'm sure there was like some sort of anger towards the snake that killed your baby, obviously,
Yeah.
but then also having empathy for snakes. How do you reconcile the two?
Yeah, it's just nature. The thing is that what I've learned about snakes is they actually won't go for anything until they're scared, until they feel threatened. So if you just see a snake going its own way, and it's not in your private space, just leave it. It'll go. They don't particularly even like being with humans, not at all. They a lot of times snakes comes into yards and into houses because they're thirsty. They're looking for water, or they're following a mouse or or something. So I think what happens with this kind of a bush environment, animal can easily walk past a snake and give it a fright.
Oh, yes.
And then because snakes, except pythons, but snakes don't eat animals. They don't eat human beings.
That's true.
They strike them, and it's a defense. So if it was a snake, it was. I can't
Defending.
keep it against snakes. I mean, they were just doing what snakes do.
Yeah.
I mean, my cats, they're killers.
They kill us.
They're killers. You hear
Yes.
chee, 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 chee at night, and then there's a mouse, and
They've killed
no
something.
way you're going to save it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they're killers.
So there's no resentment towards.
No.
That's good. That's good. Because
Yeah.
I would assume, since it was a snake that killed your baby, you would have that thing that says, "Killer you, kill my baby."
No, you know what? There was a little dog, a neighbor dog that came to visit. That a car bumped it,
Okay.
and that guy with that bucky, I resent that. I resented him for a long time because when humans kill animals, or they've got a choice,
Especially if you're in the car, you can.
Yeah,
just-
and it's just a tiny little road, and it's there's animals, there's pets, and this little thing, and he just went wow over it. So that I resent. But when a snake, what can you do?
Nature, hey?
Yeah.
It's nature. Yeah.
It's just how the cookie crumbles.
Yes.
So I used to work at a pet store, and normally pet parents would come in buying like maybe clothes for their pets or toys as well, and be like, I never thought I'd buy this for my pets, or I never thought I'd spend this amount on my pets.
Yeah.
Have you also had that feeling where you bought something and you'd be like,
Madness.
something I never told myself I'll ever buy?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, these pet shops, they get the people there. I buy for Bella, or I collect for Bella black and white fluffy toys.
Oh.
But I never buy it in the pet shop. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, but if there's a second-hand shop or something, or I walk past and there's a black and white sheep or a toy or a thing, I always get it for Bella.
Yes.
Because she's a black and white dog. So her
Yes.
babies would be black and white. So it has to be so that's Bella is the only one where I sometimes think, really? Haven't I gone a little bit too far?
Isn't this a little overboard?
Yeah.
And does she not rip them apart? How does she treat them?
Oh, she runs around with them in her mouth the whole time.
That's cute.
Yeah. Yeah. She's forever got something in her mouth.
Yes, yes. And we were talking on our last episode about how surprised we were when we got into started working in pet shops and vet clinics to just realize how much food there is and the amount of science that actually goes behind
Yeah.
dog and cat food.
Yeah.
I mean, it is insanity. You grew up around animals. Have you always known that there was just this wide variety of different dog foods?
No. I mean, when I grew up, the dogs would eat whatever leftover food from the table. Pop and gravy and, or rice and stuff. But now I prefer not to buy tinned stuff. I don't like those tins or those sachets and stuff. I buy Pitmans,
Okay.
and then I cook it, and I put it in little holders, and I freeze it.
Oh,
And then the dogs get kibbles, and I put a little bit of the soft food in for them, just as a side. And the same with the cats. The cats get kibbles, and then they get wet food, which is fish that I boiled up, or chicken livers, or chicken breast.
So you prepare food for your babies. You cook for them.
Yes. And then, but then, no. I can't say that I don't give anything out of tins. The cats love tuna. But tuna with water and salt. Not the
Yes.
one with the oil. So if it's on holidays and high days, Christmas.
Yes, they have special food.
Yeah, I buy them, and then I'll give them that. Yeah, but there's, I know. I mean, at some stage, one of my animals, Sophie, got too fat. And the Dalmatians are gluttons. If a Dalmatian doesn't eat, you must know they're very
There's
sick.
something wrong.
Yeah, and I had to give her a food that reduced her weight. So there was enough kibbles, but obviously it's I'm not going to say
Weight
the name.
management,
You guys should know. And it really worked. She got
It
fat.
does.
It does. To be honest with you, the specialty food does work. It's just the science that goes behind it, and most of them it's actually vets that do the research. So they actually do work. When a vet says, go on this particular food for this issue, it literally works.
And also there are brands that accommodate according to how the face looks, like flat pellets, some with triangle. So there's a lot of science that they put in food making.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You mean even in the shape of the food?
Yes.
Oh, really?
There's even food specifically for fussy
breeds.
pets as well.
Yeah.
Come in, I think it's triangle shapes, or some come in star shapes.
Yeah.
So some come in bone shapes because of how they pick up the food or how they pick up the pellets. So it's, there is
So
a lot
whole
of
science behind and a whole lot of research.
even for flat face pets as well, there's food for that.
Of course, yes.
So Elize, there's somebody watching right now that says, I would never have animals. Animals are just too much work. They're too much maintenance, too much money. What would you say to that person, like to motivate them to get pets? Because I feel like everybody should be an animal person.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Every single person should have at least minimum 2 pets in the household.
You're getting a pet. You're getting a pet.
Minimum. So a person who's a skeptic that says, oh, it's just too much work. It's just all of this. What would your advice be?
Well, you know what? If people travel a lot and they're not going to be at home, they shouldn't have pets.
Oh, yes, for sure.
If they live in very small spaces in flats, they shouldn't have pets. Except perhaps something that's in a cage or a fish or something. But and if you're not going to, you have to take responsibility.
100%.
If you're going to buy a pet, you must know you're going to look after that pet for at least 12 to 15 years.
Yeah.
It all depends on what kind of a pet it is.
Yes.
So you can't, a pet is not just it's not a stuffed toy.
It's not
So
accessory.
you have to take responsibility. And a lot of people, I hated that people would get a dog and just as for instance, a guard dog. Yes, dogs are very good for guarding. But just to have the poor animal on a
Leash.
on a tree, there
By
day
the
and night,
gates, yes.
and just so that it could bark. I mean, we've got around the corner here. There was people that did that. The animal just goes mad eventually. I mean, you can just imagine they start to incessantly bark and all of that.
They become vicious as well.
And they become
Exactly.
extremely vicious because people also taunt them.
Yes.
You know. So I think that if you are not an animal lover and you don't want to give attention to the animals, don't have
get
animals.
it.
Yes.
I would rather people don't have animals than have animals and not
treat them
give them
badly.
attention.
That's true.
Yeah. But they really, I mean, I can't imagine not having animals. I really love that the proximity of another being.
Yes.
They're so special.
And they make life interesting.
Yeah. I prefer animals to children. Yeah. I've got one son,
That's enough for you.
and he's now 41 years old, and he's magnificent, and he's fantastic, and I love him, and I loved it when he grew up and all of that. But I'd rather have pets. Yeah. I've definitely wouldn't want. I'd rather have pets.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we don't see Bella, we don't see Basky, we can't see any of them right now. What do you think they're busy with?
I think there is a cat, most probably in every corner somewhere, watching this.
Oh, really? Who are these strangers?
Yes, I definitely. I mean, Pawpaw most probably would just feel this is just not her kind of thing.
Can they just
And
leave?
She would just be trying to ignore whatever is happening.
Yes.
But I mean, I see Tinker sitting there. There's Tinks. She's definitely
Oh,
watching
yes.
us. Then, so they and the dogs, I think, are just sleeping because they're now used to you guys and they're used to everything, and so. You know, it's their house, so they just do what they want.
They're just chilling now.
They're chilling, yeah.
Okay, so Elize, I know you said that you already speak to your babies and they already sort of hear you when you speak to them. But if you could speak in dog and you could speak in cat, what would you say to each of them?
Oh, what would I say to them? You know, I mean, they must just know I love them. You know, so whatever. Bella sleeps with me on the bed.
Oh.
Yeah, so Bella is really the closest and Pawpaw's the closest. They both of them sleep. The black and whites sleep on the bed, and then some of the others jump up. But Bella's got a eye problem at the moment. It's like dry eye syndrome, and I wish that she would. I have to take the stuff out of her eyes and put drops in. So I hope that she understands that
You're not trying
I'm
to
not
torture
trying
her.
to torture her. Yeah.
It's for her own good.
Yes. And yeah, they must just know that their mom loves them. I don't know.
And you would do anything
that
for them and spend any money on them.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
That is up for discussion.
That's a discussion.
I'm trying to make them love me.
Yeah.
Hey?
You're trying to buy their love with Elize's money.
Yes.
Listen, but I'm sure that some people think that if they don't give all these expensive stuff that you get in pet shops and all of that, then the animals are not going to. I'm sure there are people who most probably think.
Because some will come, they're coming for a vet visit, for example, and they leave with 7 toys because they're like, no, she'll love this. She just got an injection. Let me get her this, you know? So,
Really? Yeah.
Elize, thank you so, so much for welcoming us into your amazing, amazing home and introducing us to your amazing babies. This was definitely a fun conversation. We had fun, 100%. I hope you had fun too.
Lots of fun.
And I hope we did change some minds at home, hey? People are getting more cats, more dogs, feeding monkeys.
And bush babies. People are starting to like snakes now.
Yes.
And ants. Remember, don't cripple ants, people. Elize is going to come for you. If you cripple any ants. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us for today. That is it. We hope you guys had fun. We definitely had fun. Don't forget to comment your favorite moments from this conversation. Like, subscribe, and obviously share. We'll see you guys next time.